Hi guys, how's it going? One day I'm gonna get this thing. The YouTube thing. Let me just do this. Audio is playing back. You guys have some background music. Apparently you don't. Technical problem. You know what? The worst thing is, I'm gonna guess here you can hear me. Because I hope you guys can hear me. The funniest thing is that I did some check and I did some recording of, I did some recording with everything. I did some test streams and everything was working fine. And now that I'm live for real, it doesn't work. Yeah. Well, welcome. It's gonna start really soon. I'm sorry for those of you who was watching in playback. If you want to help me, give this video a thumbs up. At least that's gonna activate the algorithm to try to help me get something done here. Oh man. Okay, now I hear the music. Let's see if I hear my console. No, it doesn't. Oh, it's muted. It's just because it's muted. I don't hear it. You know what? It's OBS crapping on me. You want me to restart all the... There you go. Now I can hear it. You guys can hear it. Because we don't hear the same thing. That's the funniest part about that. Okay. Let's get in position. Hi everybody in the chat. If I'm going to be unprofessional, at least make sure that everything is working and I have a good time. Is this working? Yeah, this is working. You guys can see the show. I don't want this. Want something like this. Actually, more around the 12-minute mark. There you go. Welcome, guys. First, let me turn the music down. Just a little bit. There we go. Microphone is up and running. Microphone is a little loud. Welcome. Today, I want to show you guys something that I had a lot of requests for, and this is what do I do with live shows? It may sound simple for some of you guys. It may be really strange what's happening in the live world for some of you guys. So, I want to first do a quick overview of what we got going on here. This is a show that I have mixed. This is a real live band performance. This is something that happened in front of a real amount of people, around 2,500 people. It was a festival that I did sound for. And, oh, how is that? How funny is that? Can you guys see me well? Because I think my little face icon is over my real face. That's gonna be better. Okay, so I want to show you guys my overall setup. Let's start with input, what I got for input. Actually, I can do a line from here, and this is not. And zoom, wow. go. Okay. So input-wise, what we got is one bass drum microphone. I'm using a Behringer Dynamic D71C. It's a condenser. It's the equivalent of a Beta 91 from Shure or the 902 from Sennheiser. For those of you who are more familiar with these microphones, I have a oscillator. Oscillator is a low frequency. Actually, I'm gonna go on this quickly. The oscillator is a really low frequencies. We're talking about 48 hertz that you can't see it because of my camera. We got a 48 hertz going here. This is on all the time, and I'm using a gate on it to give my bass drum more punch. So it's in tune with the sound of the original bass drum. And I'm using this to, I'm triggering a gate with the bass drum to give burst of low end energy. I will get back to this later. Let's come back here. We have a snare, Behringer Dynamic M201, a D78C condenser microphone. Actually, I'm gonna do this. This is D78C. There are also the 57Cs on tom, but the only difference is in the gooseneck here. Instead of having a 90 degree, the 57 is just a regular, like, not 90 degree neck, but it's the same capsule, it's the same microphone. No, not this one, this one. And yeah, this is for snare bottom, tom, and floor tom. It's the same capsule. It's not the same mic number, but it's really the same capsule. So overhead, those are the MC930 from Behringer, high-end pair of condenser. Two things I must point out. Good microphone. Pretty close to the K&M 184, so around $1,000 a pair, or $2,000 a pair, $1,000 each microphone. I'm getting a good sound out of these, and to get better, cleaner sound out of these, I put them under the cymbal. I put them around the middle of the shell that is next to it. What I mean is, if I have a tom next to my cymbal on the right, I'm gonna put the capsule of the microphone around the middle of that tom. This is where I will get the less amount of bleeding from that tom. The resonance of the skin is minimal at this point, so this is where I'm miking from under the overhead with these. I'm putting them on drum claw. I don't think I have one around, but I'm going to show you eventually. Or actually, if you saw one of my vlog, you probably seen me this trick before. Bass, we have only one DI coming from bass. Zach acoustic guitar that is next is just a DI that he also provide me into a Line 6 wireless. Alex guitar is a aux. It's you know, those aux box that you put behind or between a speaker cabinet and a guitar head. This is the preset that me and him worked together on, or actually he proposed me, or he went out and said, okay, try my setup. This is a Royer 121 on one side and a 421 on the other side. We blend them. It's not hard pan left and right, the Royer and the 421. They are blended just a little bit. And my input is set to stereo, so even if my input is set to full stereo, the pad in the aux box itself is not make it full stereo, but really close to be really full stereo. We got acoustic guitar from my friend Antoine. First time that I was working with that player. This guy is, okay, sometimes it's the gear, sometimes the player. I don't know which one is which, but the acoustic guitar that he's gonna play, take a listen to that. This is awesome. It sounds awesome. We have a banjo. It was a pickup mic, not a microphone. It was a pickup mic going into a preamp. Sounded really good. I had a really good time with that too. Second layer, what we got is vocal, because, hold on, did I forget something? 1650, yeah, because I have a couple of empty inputs on that show, because my the guys that is supposed to play the guitar in this one could not make it to the show. His wife just had a baby, so he asked if he could stay home and we find somebody else to do the job. So little less instrument. I'm supposed to have in the future a mandolin on that gig, a steel guitar, and something else. So if you're interested in that, stick around. That will come in the future. But now it was all left on the backtrack that I will get to later on. First, let's take a look at vocal. I have Jade vocal. Jade is one of my lead singer. She's one of the two member of the duo that is the band Five Roses. This is the band that we're gonna take a listen today. The other one is Zach. Zach play guitar and he's lead singer too. So a lot of alternate lead between those two. Alex, Paul, which is not Paul, it's my friend Antoine, and Carl, the drummer, are doing backup vocal, so they are a little bit lower in the mix because I blend them with the backtrack. The backtrack has some gang vocal on it, and I just leave them on, and I blend the real player with them. And finally, the backtrack. Yes. This is the backtrack. I was about to say it should not be EQ'd, but yes, this is the unmastered version of the backtrack, so I need to do some little bit correction there. Anything that you guys want to check out before we go, or actually I can take a look at every input, what we got going on. So bass drum, really simple. We got a expander gate. I don't want to kill my kick. I just want to lower the volume when he's not playing. So I got an expander, 2-to-1 ratio on that. M160, my favorite compressor for the drum. I love the 160, the real unit, and the one in the wing is fine. It's a good reproduction. I like that. Next to that, we have the oscillator. The oscillator is really, maybe I can show you guys. If I'm taking out that gate here, can you hear the really low rumble? It's sorry, this is what we're gonna add with the bass drum and the gate. Again, let me explain. I got a gate going on this thing, on that tone, on this tone generator. Every time the bass drum hit, I want my gate here to open and let a small burst of a punch going through. Hey Ivan, how's it going? Every time that my bass drum is punching in, I want a small burst of that. So I'm adding extra low end to the mix. It's probably not going to be hearable in your phone, laptop speaker, but if you have a sub, it will definitely get something going. So this is only a gate because a tone like that is not going to be dynamic. So whatever I set the volume to, it's there. It's not going to move. Hi Pancho, how's it going, man? After that, yeah, not much to say about that more than it's there, it's gonna work, it will give a lot of low end, and I will do a test pass of the first song before I really record, because the goal here is to record what I'm gonna do and send that out to the band with the video that I filmed from the GoPro of the show, and just so they can have a souvenir to bring for the rest of their life of that gig. Okay, next to that we have a snare, gate, or actually I should say expander. Expander is different than a gate. Expander doesn't cut like really snappy. Expander is really lowering the volume as if it's the same as if I were to ride the volume really fast in and out instead of just muting the input every time that the snare hits. So expander on the snare, EQ. Fundamental note of the snare is around 208. I'm cranking that up, and because I'm cranking that up, I'm having sympathetic frequency response from around 435, which is almost double. That's that's peaking out a little bit because it's the fren, it's the octave higher in the frequency range of the 208-ish. So I'm bringing it down just to bring it back even, but I'm getting a lot of low end from the snare. This is what I want. New compressor on the snare, the API or the PIA 2250. Used to like the plugin, used to like the real thing when I had the chance to try it. So snare, I went for that. There are other options. The no stressor could be a really good option here. I'm not gonna change anything, but maybe, no stressor. 160 could be a really good option, or the ethereal is one of my favorite compressor now. So, yep, that could be other option for snare. Snare bottom, really easy. Gate, but something funny that I must mention about the gate. I'm using a key source again for the gate. I'm using the snare top to open the bottom microphone because I don't want my bass drum when it hits to trigger that microphone, and I don't want to hear resonance frequency of just the chain vibrating. I really want the snare top to open it really fast. As you can see, attack is 0, hold 10, and it goes down in 200 millisecond. So yeah, it's opening from the top. Got this. I'm shaving out a lot of mid-range. I don't know why. Usually I don't shave that much on snare. Sounded really good, but I need to do these small correction to be really happy with it. 560 on the snare bottom. Really cool compressor. It's close to the... sounds really close to the 160, but I don't know. I did an A/B test, and for some reason, I don't know why, I preferred this one. Could be visual. Could be whatever. I don't know. Tom, I'm using the Drawmore. Really cool compressor for these. Again, expander here on the tom. It's the same for the tom and the floor tom, maybe different level. The EQ are a bit different because I want to give my floor tom a little more headroom in the low end. If my drummer wants to push it, it's there. The higher tom usually don't have that much low end, but I can give it some more if I really felt like it. But it's not musical. It's not fun to have. Let's move on. Overhead, absolutely no gate on that. I don't want any kind of gating or anything from the first gate slot. EQ, similar to what we had on the snare bottom for some strange reason. Maybe it's the stage. It was the room that was giving me that feeling. We were on a stage line stage, so it's a truck that opened up and become a stage. They have some resonance frequency there. The floor is really a reflective surface. The roof is really a reflective surface. So maybe something was wrong around 500. I EQ that a lot out of some microphone. Compression, not really doing much. Maybe if the drummer goes crazy, it will kick in, but it's more as a safety net, more than anything. Bass, this is where we start to have fun. So I changed the signal chain a little bit. We start with the EQ. It's coming from a Helix, by the way. And if I'm not mistaken, the Helix of Theory is an MPEG amp, like a simple MPEG 810, and the head that goes with it, the SVT Classic. It's just that, no EQ, no nothing, and he sent that to me into a DI. It's a radial DI that we have on his pedal board. So for the PA, then they have to shave off a lot of 300. I don't know why. I don't usually do that kind of a big cut on bass. Maybe it has something to do with the rest of the stuff on the signal chain. I'm using the Soul Warmer, the updated version of that plugin with firmware 12.6, introduced the drive through 125. This is the key thing here. I'm using this to distort the bass. It sounds like it's broken, and I just dial it back with the mix blend here. After that, just to make sure that nothing's gonna move, I have 1176 cranked out where it's compressing almost all the time, and I just smash it because I want my bass or my bass instrument to be really even, to have something to set my mix on. And by the way, don't worry, we're gonna listen to all that stuff before we go. Zach acoustic guitar, well, a small expander, so you can see here that the threshold is at -55. It's just when it's not playing, I don't get any noise because he's only playing in 2 or 3 songs. I just don't want any background noise going into the in-ear and in the PA. So the expander here, just get rid of that. This one I had to EQ more than I usually do. I had some feedback going here around 150, 135, sorry. 400, probably was coming from the stage. And I don't know, the guitar was sounding good, but I'm not convinced. I think we need to work on that in the future, but I don't want to change anything. I don't want to re-EQ anything too much here. I want to leave it like it was at the show. Compression, we have the ethereal with a gain limit of 6 dB. So what that means, it's going to compress, but it's not going to compress more than 6 dB at any time given. And the body res, really cool plugin that I've discovered with the Wing. I didn't know the real unit from TC before, so yeah, I like it, and I use it on his guitar. Body around 25-ish. This is where it was sounding good. Now moving on to my friend Alex's guitar. Everything sounded good right out of the bat. Didn't do anything. Low cut at 120, just to clear out some space. Or actually to clean up the sub, because I don't want him to go in the sub. That's it. Antoine's guitar, just a auto rider. Actually, I changed the signal chain a little bit. EQ, compression just a little bit. Body res, just for fun to have more body, because this is, the kind of situation where his guitar is sounding so good right off the bat that I don't have to correct everything. I can enhance. Feels good. It doesn't happen all the time, so when it happens, I just enjoy. And to make sure that he's not peeking out, I have the auto rider, so it's just putting him at the right place in the mix, and it's keeping it there. After that, we have banjo. Sounded good right out of the bat too. Bit of compression again, maximum of 6 dB of compression on that. The rider. Again, to keep it even, I just want to, because a banjo is really dynamic, so if he's play loud, or, the small variant in his hand in volume will result in a lot in the PA, so I'm just using that to adjust him, It's basically like a compressor, but more subtle, more slower. 17, we got nothing. It's not used yet. Jade's vocal. There we go. Again, change the signal chain a little bit here. We start with the EQ. I could have done that with only 2 parametric. Really, it's a Beta 58 that she's using. Really Beta 58-ish kind of EQ curve. I'm not going to change it, but I could just replace these 2 cut by a single wide cut, and it would basically do it. For vocal, my new favorite compressor, no stressor. I love this one on vocals. Insert, we got nothing in the first one. We have the vocal rider to, after the distressor, keep it even, and wait, we're not done with that. Pitch correction, not because they need it, because they want it. They want the tone. They want the overproduced, or they want the really produced tone that we can have with autotune on. Sometimes it's playing for us, sometimes it's playing against us. You will hear a spot or two where the vocal are in between a note, because I remember doing the show and hearing it live. Sometimes they go in between the note because for some reason, they look at the crowd, they bend over, they go talk to the musician, and they slide in. They go like sliding in, and sometimes the autotune just throw them off more than they were in real life. So autotune again is something that sound good when you are on key, and it just make you perfect basically when you turning it on. But if you miss some cues, it's like in this one, in this it will play against you. So maybe I can turn down the speed. This is not what I had on the show. This is the setting that I had on the show, but I can turn down the speed so it will be less aggressive and amount 100%. Of course. Back vocal, it's gonna be pretty much the same thing. Different EQ, depending on the player and the microphone, depending on how beat up their 58 was. And we go to the backtrack. Backtrack is just an EQ and a compressor. I'm using the no stressor here to even it out because I want it to be, it's not really dynamic what's coming up from the backtrack, but it's not mastered, so it tends to move from song to song in volume, and it tends to move sometimes in the song. So to avoid that, I just compress it. If the violin sound too compressed, well, they will sound too compressed. On the PA itself, which is my next input, I had that running live. This is like the mastering chain that I'm using for my live stream, but I'm gonna use this live. I'm gonna use this on the recording too because I use it live. G-Bus compressor. This EQ was on during the show, but it was there to correct the PA, so we'll turn it off. And the precision limiter, I'm gaining it at 12. Maybe I can go a little less. I don't want my mix to feel too compressed. And maybe I can give out some headroom for OBS. 1.5 dB will be just fine. So yeah, it's limiting, but really little, like 1 or 2 dB of compression, and that's it. Or 1 or 2 dB of limiter. Really fast, really slow release. Well, fast attack, slow release. And this is giving me a CD type like sound. So, now that I got my stuff together, I can move on to this view here. And I will give it like the first song a first pass. I like to finish my sound check with the first song, so I'm set, my mix is there to start the show. This is what we're gonna do. Before I press record and mix for 45 minutes, I want to go over what we got. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's take a quick look at the bus before even doing that. So on bus 4, I've made myself a bus group, and on that bus group, hold on. Sorry, I had the wrong pattern on the microphone, so every time I was moving, I was cutting in and out in my ear. I hope it's more even for you guys. Okay. Yeah, you hear the console fan now, but doesn't matter. Okay, so what I was saying is on vocal group, what we got is ethereal compressor, maximum gain reduction of 3 dB. Hi, Chris. And this is just to even out the vocal a little more. When they go together and they push on the note, I want them to be at the same level as if they were singing individually. So when they are lead singer, one is backing up, is gonna go a little out of the microphone. When they sing together lead, I ask them to be right on the mic, and that way the compressor, when that happened, the compressor kicking in, and it just bring the level back to where it was before they were singing together. When I say singing together, I'm talking about Jade and Zach, because they are two lead, and you will hear they are pretty much lead vocal all the time, both. So that's it for that. We got some effect going. We have a drum reverb. Really simple, really... What's up, Illuminax? Really simple, the vintage plate. I don't know who recommended that plate to me, but it sounded good. I just kept it like that. We have an instrument reverb. There's not much going in there, but this is the ambient stuff that I've used. We set that up together on the stream before, so if you want to go watch a couple stream ago where I built that show, I didn't change anything. On the vocal, we have the blue plate reverb. Love this one. Remind me of my Lexicon unit that I used to own. Sounded really good. Did some adjustment to the basic preset, but you have all the basic parameter if you want to copy that. And my new favorite toy, the Ultra Tap from I don't know who built that. Was it TC? Anybody in the chat know who is the original maker of this unit? I like it. It sounds good. And it's delay's not something that I use a lot on this show, but it's helped me getting more depth because tips and tricks here. I send my vocal into the delay, and I also sending my vocal into a reverb. And I'm taking the output of the delay, so the repeat, and I'm also sending them into the same reverb just to give it more space. So all that together make a mush, a sound, but it sounds good in the mix. You guys will see later. Anything else? Oh yes, we have some crowd microphone. Not much. There is just... actually, it's backward, or is it? I don't know. I'll leave it like that. It's just stereo mic, pan in and out. Those were not the good type of microphone, and by that I mean those were just cardioid condenser that we put there because this is what they had on the setup, and I didn't want to bring out shotguns for no reason and take more time to the loadout, so I just used whatever they had there. The difference between a cardioid mic and a shotgun microphone for crowd mic is... Hold on. The pattern of the microphone will pick up further away. When you have a cardioid mic, it will pick up the front of the crowd and it will die. When you have a really shotgun mic, you will feel like you hear the people in the back of the venue instead of just hearing some blur in the front. I think it worked better with shotgun microphone. It worked with this, so if you only have cardioid microphone, do it that way. But definitely recommend the shotgun mic or the cinema. Actually, shotgun microphone, they look kind of like this. You know, they have that big mic capsule. It's because it will help the microphone to reach further away. Okay. Now that we got that, time to do a quick pass of the mix. Just want to listen to it. I think it starts with the announcer, the MCs. So I'm going to slowly start this. This time I'm gonna shut the background music. And yeah, V will speak for a while, so I'm just gonna turn that down until we're done here. If you guys have any question on the setup so far, go ahead, ask them. This time I'm redoing that video, by the way. So this time I have the option to talk to you guys, so I can feel free at any moment to ask any question. If I have time, I will answer it. Show is slowly starting here. That's the backing track. Can you guys hear the low end? By the way, I'm mixing with Shure 846 in-ear monitor. This is the most flat headphone that I have. I wish I could mix with my Neumann, but that would not work for the live stream. I will have audio coming in and out. No sound? You're right. Hold on.
Something happened. Remember guitar strumming and bump. Well, we've been waiting here all year for it to roll on.
You should now.
The days get a little bit long.
I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit, but guys, please let me know if you hear the backing track. I have a little more delay for some reason now over YouTube. So, yeah, that's it. Okay, good. Music and singing. Great. By the way, if it's clipping, if you guys hear any kind of audio distortion, let me know, because I cannot hear the output that goes out to the stream. I have to hear the output of the board and other stuff, so let me know, please. So, I will shut it for a second. We will listen to what we got going on here. I will maybe adjust the mix a little bit, but it should be really close to the truth. So, I'm gonna put the volume loud. Let me know.
Midnight kissing in the water, and moonlight do what it does. Socks on the rim, soaking in the sun. Summer is gonna save us.
Feel that the basses need a little more volume.
Days get a little bit longer, and the nights make you wanna stay up.
Worries get a little bit smaller, and everybody's falling in love. Hey, days get a little bit longer, and the nights make you wanna stay up. Worries get a little bit smaller, and everybody's falling in love. Midnight kissing in the water, and moonlight do what it does. Socks on the rim, soaking in the sun. Summer's gonna save us.
How does it feel out there for you guys? I feel that the vocals are buried a little bit, and I think it will need more definition on the overall. So maybe I will try to kick in my EQ here. I will let the other song going. Yeah, and maybe the crowd mic are a little loud. And yeah, this is, we just listen to the crowd mic now. These the vocal sounds good because I have good singers. But I will explain that further on. But what I want to say now is this is my crowd mic that I'm blending in. They recorded my live mix behind the PA, so they could be out of phase. This is the first thing I'm gonna check. I'm gonna try to crank them and turn the phase in and out so we can hear if they cancel some stuff or not.
Kinda confident, shoot 'em down like Clint Eastwood. Give me some of that feel good. Till I feel
Where's the phase reverse? Oh, there you go.
I gotta get the dots to connect with the boy to my left that just put his hand on mine. Between the boots, rumbling, and the jacket with the fringe. Damn boy, got a vibe.
give me some of that feel good. There's a pretty strong light.
Yeah, I actually, Eliminax, the vocals should be panned out just a little bit. We will take a look at that. They should be a little bit left and right because they stand on stage left and right. So I try to just, they don't. I just want to make them not feel center. It will make it easier for me to mix also, because the thing is with live, you have to react. You can predict what's going on, but you always have to react. You know, things can happen and you need to change them after. And also, the distance matter. When you are sitting 300 feet or 100 meter away from a PA, everything that you do on the console is behind. What I mean is, when you mix something and you adjust, you need the sound to go out of the PA, come back to you, then you listen to it, then you adjust. So it's, you know, it's like a wave going in and out. So you have to be careful doing that live. And, you know, with the years, I learned to deal with that, but definitely some things, you know, you do a change and it takes a few millisecond to happen, but it feels like a long time at the front. You're watching on hotel TV while traveling, maybe the best place to judge. You know what? It's probably the best place to judge. If it can sound fine there, it's gonna sound good anywhere. Now I'm mixing, you know, in $1,000 earphone that sound good pretty much no matter what you throw at them. So just make sure that you're not mono. But this time, actually, this is the second time I'm doing this live stream, because I tried to do it Monday and nothing was working, didn't sound good, and it sounded mono. So this is why I'm saying, make sure your TV it sounds mono. But we will listen again a few seconds of the song number 3 now, and we'll try to listen to the overall. After that, we will start the mix, because the musician evolved during the show, and it cannot be one setup on the console fits all the song. Let's take a listen.
Stone cold sober, but I drink every word to have you closer.
I will put the effect on.
Feel your burn. If I could do it over with the same damn man, I'll take the hangover, do it all again.
I wish we could have gone.
I will write those vocals.
A little bit stronger. I try to chase the fear.
Hi, Justice. What stand do I have for the wing? This is a bass cabinet. This is a 410 bass cabinet. But the highlight is there is a very vast difference in mixing for broadcast and streaming versus broadcast and streaming when you look for a live audience. Actually, yes, this is the thing that was this is the most challenging thing that I did in my life, is mixing studio and not having sounded good, but mixing for thousands of people. The biggest show that I've mixed is like 35,000 people, and it sounded good all over the place because I had a really good PA tech that made the PA sound good where I was and everything else. But the thing is, when you are in a crowd of 50,000 people, 30, or even like as soon as you reach over the 1,000, you have to take decision based on where you are in the room and guess that it sounds good elsewhere. And the difference between that and mixing for recording stuff is, when you mix for recording, it's always referencing in your place and make it sound okay everywhere, versus doing live sound. I can push the box as far as they would go. I can make the smallest speaker on earth feel huge, but that mix will not work in your car. This, you know, it's two different worlds, it's two different approach to mixing. So this, I will mix this referencing in my 846 like if it was a real PA. Usually when it sounds good in my 846, where the mix sits where I want it to sit, it's usually fine everywhere. But please be the judge. Tell me if I have a resonance frequency around, or if I have too much of 500, maybe it's there because maybe the earbuds here in my left and right canal is reversing the phase of 500 and I don't hear it at all with the size of my ear canal and D's driver, and it all those things impact the sound that you make, and I take decision based on D's. So I don't know, man, we'll see. So we're already song number 4 in, but we'll take a listen. Let's start with no vocal and the backtrack up. The backtrack is doing a lot here. I'm gonna take it out. This is just my live band. This is with the backtrack in. All these violin swell and stuff and detailed stuff make it sound so produced, so big. It's crazy. But keep in mind, there's a few gang vocal on the backtrack, and everything else that you hear is being played by the musician. So the drums are not doubled, the guitars are not doubled, the lead vocals are not double at all. This is only the singers. So okay, let me shut it and we will take a listen at this mix with no. I'll go with full on.
Let's have one more night that we won't forget. You're too much, baby, let me catch my breath.
Actually, the electronics drums are on the backtrack. That's the real drum. It's my guitar. It's my bass guitar. I want more bass. I want more bass guitar, but I don't want to make it really louder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compress it so it will sit more even in the mix.
One more night that we won't forget. You're too much, baby, let me catch my breath. 'Cause our days are numbered.
See, I don't need as much volume of bass to hear it when it's so compressed like that. Okay.
Merci la binière!
I'm gonna restart that. I'm not gonna record yet, but I want to take a listen at the first song for real this time, and I'm gonna give it a try. So it's gonna take a few seconds here. I don't know why I cannot set the SD card player to really start where I want it to be. It jumped like from minute-ish, and I cannot go in between. Oh, thank you, man. Glad you like it. I'm a fan of live mixing because it's an emotion that you live together with a crowd, and it cannot be reproduced by something else. So, okay, here's the intro. We'll take a listen now. It's funny because you can hear, I got everything open now. You can hear them talk and just holding the microphone, but it's not the same thing. Live, I didn't hear them because of the crowd, the everything.
Parking lot hanging on the hood of the car, waiting for something to happen.
Just gotta turn down the vocal now.
With your friends, everybody laughing. When a cheap lawn chair and a cooler of beer was a good time going down. Well, we've been waiting here all year for it to roll on back around. The days worries get a little bit longer, the nights make you wanna stay up. The worries get a little bit smaller, and everybody's falling in love. Midnight kissing in the water, and moonlight do what it does.
Sorry, guys.
Salt's on the rim, soaking in the sun. Summer's gonna save us.
Remember riding in the bed with the tailgate up and the little back window open. Remember all you could see was the sky and the trees, but the cops never pulled you over. That cliff was so high that I wouldn't survive. Felt baptized by the lake.
Maybe it will be more fun for you guys to watch it like this. Okay, let me shut up and listen.
Worries get a little bit smaller, and everybody's falling in love. Midnight kissing in the water, and moonlight do what it does.
That's the oscillator with the kick.
Days get a little bit longer, and the nights make you wanna stay up.
Worries get a little bit smaller, and everybody's falling in love. Hey, days get a little bit longer, the nights make you wanna stay up. Worries get a little bit smaller, and everybody's falling in love. Midnight kissing in the
I don't know for you guys, but to me here, that EQ curve on the main mix is make it sound way better.
save us.
Now it's off. Now on.
Salt's on the rim, soaking in the sun. Summer's gonna save us.
Yeah, it sounds good with a scoop, so I'm gonna guess this is not bad sounding here. Gonna put the crowd back in. Using any dynamics on your feed, there is. This is what I'm using on the master, so compression here, maybe that's a little bit heavy. Limiter a little bit. Let me see with the master up, but I only have like a protection limiter that's kicking at minus 0.1 dB on the main out.
Feel good, that's a pretty strong line. Feel good if you mix a little jukebox vibration with a little bit of buzz.
See, I'm kicking this one about 3 dB,
Feel good, talking like
and the limiter kicking 1 to 3 dB.
that no consequence, kind of confident, shooting down like Clint Eastwood. Give me some of that feel good.
When I'm listening to it without the vocal, I'm just gonna put them on top.
Dots to connect with the boy to my left that just put his hand on mine. Between the boots rumbling and the jacket with
Now the only thing that I'm debating with myself is, should I put the vocal that loud? It's live, you better off with vocal being too loud than not enough. But for me to rewatch this probably on a bad sounding TV or on a phone, I don't know if they're gonna be too loud.
Confidence, shooting down like Clint Eastwood. Give me some of that feel good.
I'm all about listening to your opinion, guys. We're here to. I mean, this is an open debate. It sounds good to me here in my headphone. Maybe sounds like crap in your TV, radio, phone, whatever. But it matters because you're listening into that device. So it's really up to you to tell me if you have resonance frequency. Maybe it's your device. Maybe it's here. Right now, I'm pretty much set to do the first one. I'm just debating about the level of vocal, and we will start going with this. But your opinion matters.
shoot 'em down like Clint Eastwood. Give me some
I
of that
cri- let me ask you, Chris. You were talking about dynamic. Do you feel like it's too compressed going to you? Yeah, you're gonna hear some feedback here and there because they were going into the front, in front of the front field, and they were loud.
Man, it feels good to be back outside with some live music. Don't it feel
Oh yes,
good?
it did.
This night would not be possible without guys
Just
like
gonna
you.
blend in the crowd mic
you
because
so
they will
much.
affect the overall mix. I'm gonna go with too loud and bring them down. This is too loud.
Along to every single tune, yeah. Near my heartbreak song. If I can do it over with the same day, man, I'll take the hangover to do it all again. I wish we could have gone a little bit longer. Wish we could have held a little bit stronger. I tried to chase the feeling, the one I found with you. I'm trying to make you see there ain't no one like you.
Okay, I'm gonna EQ the crowd mic.
Howling at the moon after a million others, ain't no one like you. Ain't no one like you.
There's a lot of
But I drink every word. Have you closer? Baby, I feel your burn. If I could do it over with a
there's a lot of 4K in the crowd mic because they were sitting next to the front field and I didn't have access to EQ to the EQ for these front field. I would probably have turned down 4K into that DV dusk. Yes, for those of you who watched the PA on for those of you who watched the vlog, this is the one where I had the V-Dusk 16 box. It was V-Dusk 8 per side with 12 subs, SB 210. Philip, pump it up, but it's good. Okay, well, I will. Maybe I can turn it down. I just feel like because I'm doing a live stream now, I need to have that cranking, like a CD. But I can definitely bring the limiter down. Maybe turn up the volume a little bit and bring the compression. I don't mind mixing with that much compression if it sounds fine. It doesn't have to be that loud, I guess. Okay, one more listen and we're gonna start the 45 minutes of show. Placements of live mic. You mean the crowd mic or my overall microphone? The overall microphone is going to be easy because I didn't have many, only on the drum. It was plate inside the drum, snare top, the M201, snare bottom. This guy right here, the D51, D77, D78, D57 Behringer. They used to be called the Opus series from Behringer. Really like that one for live and recording. Sounds really good. I had these on snare bottom, toms, and the overhead were MC 930, the 930. Really good microphone. Other than that, it was everything DI and the vocal. So this is how usually I end up now live. Guitar players have their rig going DI. Bass was always a DI, or pretty much. And yeah, 58, other than that for vocal. Mixing the show on the Hotel TV. Driving to Cleveland and the stream keeps dropping. Oh man, I'm sorry. Say hello Cleveland for me when you get there. Now I'm asking myself, did I just do a Spinal Tap reference and I don't remember if it's Cleveland or not? Okay, enough of me yelling about that. We're gonna move on. I'm gonna mix the whole thing. I'm gonna record everything to the USB. I'm recording the main out the way it's compressed right now, and this is how I'm gonna bounce my video and audio. I'm not gonna re-EQ anything. This is what they get. The SSL sound great. Yeah, the compressor sounds really good, the SSL comp. Okay. Let's try to record that. I will edit, of course, after, but let's go for a ride. See you guys. I'm not gonna stop this time. See you guys in 45 minutes. So that's the crowd mic going. Yeah, maybe they're loud. I can turn them down just a little bit. Yeah, crowd. Yes. Feels good to have crowd back. Even if the annoying, can I put my beer here? Do you mind if I charge my phone at your console? Can I sit next to you? I have this one before. Can I sit next to you? Are you interested in live sound? If the answer is no, you cannot. Let's go. Backtrack was loud live. Can you hear the snare wires going? It's because the sub were rambling the stage. That's just the backtrack with the vocal mic and the crowd. We're gonna go in. Of course, these are all reference to the other song of the band. I'm gonna start with the drum, kick and snare. Now. Reverb on. And that's a tap delay, by the way.
Hanging on the hood of the car, waiting for something to happen. Remember guitars strumming and bonfire buzzing with your friends, everybody laughing. When a cheap lawn chair and a cooler of beer was a good time going down.
Underhead for the drum, Chris.
For it to roll on back around. The days get a little bit longer, the nights make you wanna stay up. The worries get a little bit smaller, and everybody's falling in love.
Riding the banjo now.
Moonlight do what it does. Sun's on the rim, soaking in the sun. Summer's gonna save us.
Delay for the vocal for that part. Going down. Yeah, I need to crank her up just a little bit.
Days get a little bit longer, the nights make you wanna stay up. Worries get a little bit smaller, and everybody's falling in love. Midnight kissing in the water, moonlight do what it does. Songs on the
Yeah, being Canadian, you know, Illuminox.
gonna save us.
Guitar solo. Yeah, the thing is with vocal, I'm used to mix French stuff, and vocal has to be loud. For us, at least. So, yeah, I could do that for you, Chris. Automatically on guitar auto pan? Nope, it's all coming from his setup. They have the 58. Actually, it's the bass that was ringing. Start with Zach. Can drop the crowd a little bit. I feel like they're disturbing me. There you go.
As long as the weekend's coming, as long as the liquor's brown, chasing that serotonin, hell, I'm ready to go right now. Give me some of that feel good. That's a pretty strong livelihood. If you mix a little jukebox vibration with a little bit of part-time vibration, it'll get me feeling real good. Talking like Hollywood, then no consequence, kinda comfortable, shoot it down like Clint Eastwood. Give me some of that feel good.
Chris, drive. Don't get yourself killed.
Gotta get the dots to connect with the boy to my left that just put his hand on mine.
Actually, Illuminux, no I don't, because I'm using dynamic mic for both of them, and I don't hear them going. I don't hear the S's too loud here, so I didn't. But I'm really compressed, so that could help. Lead vocal look good. That's my lead vocal. Actually, we can watch it meter. I missed that guitar solo.
As long as the weekend's coming, as long as the liquor's brown, chasing that serotonin, yeah, I'm ready to go right. Give me some of that feel.
Hey, Chris White, how's it going? We're having a good time here, man.
Mix a little jukebox vibration with a little bit of part-time vibration. It'll get me feeling real good. Talking like Hollywood, then no consequence, kinda comfortable, shoot 'em down like Clint Eastwood. Give me some of that feel good. Nah, 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 till I
Chris Greco. Hold on. His guitar is stereo. He is running a stereo rig, so everything that, any effect that you hear is him. Oh, again. It's gonna happen a couple times.
Man, it feels good to be back outside with some live music. Don't it feel good? This night would not be possible without guys like you.
Being back from work is good too.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
I thought I really knew you. You had me singing along to every single tune, yeah. Now you're my heartbreak song. If I can do it over with the same damn man, I'll take the hangover to do it all again. I wish we could have gone a little bit longer. Wish we could have held a little bit sooner. I try to chase the feeling, the one I found with you. I try to make you see there ain't no one like you. You were my endless summer.
Yeah, they sound good, Illuminux. I like their song, even if it's not, you know, I'm more a heavy metal guy, but
Ain't no one like you.
take a listen to the acoustic in this one, guys. This is the real one. This is not coming from the backtrack.
I wish we could have gone a little bit longer. Wish we could have held a little bit stronger. I try to chase the feeling, the one I found with you. I try to make you see there ain't no one like you. You were my endless summer. I'm hanging at the moon after a million others. Ain't no one like
Not sure to understand the terminology here, Chris, because country and western to me are two different things. They actually are new country. Well, they call them new country.
I find myself without you.
But did I? Oh yeah, yeah. I try to chase the feeling, the one I felt with you. I try to make you see there ain't no one like you. You were my endless summer, howling at the moon. After a million
Actually, my cowbell is in the other room. Or is it? Oh, yes, it is.
ain't no one like you.
Ain't no one like you.
I wish we just a little bit longer. You're the only one that makes my heart beat stronger.
Just a little
I
bit.
wish we just a little bit longer.
Just a little bit.
You're the only one that makes my heart beat stronger. Merci, Lavignon.
And people just talk in the front. This is their more popish stuff in the beginning. But if I remember, this one was good. The vocal were fine on this one.
Cause you ain't from around here, neither am I. We're both flying out Saturday night.
Our days are numbered. This beach town ain't a way you come to find true love. 48 hours ain't long enough.
Oh baby, we can't stop time. I met you 2 weeks too late. I still want your lips.
Electric guitar is a low
So
cut.
what do you say? Hey, hey, let's have one more night that we won't forget. 2 margaritas on a hot topic. 3 more songs that we can slow dance to. 4 more pictures of me kissing you. 5 more hours till we see the sun. What you think, baby? Let's stay up. Every minute we got left in this summer. 'Cause our days are numbered. Our days are numbered.
I love the acoustic guitar on this song too. Yeah, Alex, my guitar player, he's doing all this thing on this side. I'm just grabbing the back of his aux box. Guitar solo. That's both vocal.
You're too much, baby, let me catch my breath. Let's have one more night that we won't forget. 2 margaritas on a hot topic. 3 more songs that we can slow
Oh yes, there's a bass. Actually, yeah, it's probably your TV Illuminox because here I feel it. It's an... I really position him in the low end. Keep in mind that when I've mixed this live, I had 12 double 18 subs. So the bass was there, and I tried not to go too far from it. Yes, it's a piezo pickup. Hold on. Just want to get this right.
Merci la
Take out the auto-tune, because they will speak.
En tout cas, si un jour, quand j'étais jeune, il y a quelqu'un qui m'avait dit un jour, tu vas
Yeah,
rencontrer
the,
un gars dans un barbershop parce que tu vas lui couper les cheveux. Vous allez devenir un band.
The acoustic guitar is a piezo, but it's one like custom brand. It's not a Gibson, you know. But that guitar was built for live. The acoustic guitar was built to sound good with the pickup, and the company designed their own pickup. So,
A couple months ago with MDM Recordings.
you guys think the bass is really low?
Dream of ours. On se sent tellement chanceux.
With the 846, honestly, it feels massive here, but
on the Canadian country music
sure.
scene. On vous adore tellement.
this is the first time in my whole life somebody tell me that the bass is really low.
This
I'll
next
bump it
one is another one
4
we
dB.
recorded down in Nashville a couple of months ago. It's called To the Moon and Back.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is this channel. I'll move to this view. That's my bass here.
On the very first time that I saw you, I knew it that you had to be mine. No reason, no rhyme. I bought you those flowers. Oh, Kitty. Girl, you make me
Low in tone, not in volume. Okay.
hang on it.
Yeah, it's low in tone.
On the very first time, we can spend all night sipping on cheap champagne, talking about forever and running away. 'Cause I wanna love like that. To the moon and back, baby. All I wanna do is drive you wild. Get about the world for a little while. 'Cause I wanna love like that. To the moon and back.
But
To the moon and back, baby.
it's also a short scale bass. For those of you who know what that would mean, it's feeling fatter because it's loose strings.
We can spend all night sipping on cheap champagne, talking about forever and running away. 'Cause I wanna love like that. To the moon and back, baby. All I wanna do is drive you wild. Get about the world for a little while. 'Cause I wanna love like that. To the moon and back.
Guitar solo again. On this one, the autotune was throwing them off. They're not super tight. As much as I love them, they're really good. But this one, they're not super tight. So I took the autotune off.
Just let it be. What'll you be you? And I'll
And yeah, I like to have my bass sitting in the low end because live I can push it.
I don't care who you are. Where
Yeah, there you go, Luminux. This is why I don't like mixing for studio stuff.
as long as
Sounds good until you listen to it somewhere else.
I'm in love with the shape of you. Push and pull like a magnet. But my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body. Yes, you do,
you in my
baby.
room and your bed sheets smell like you. Oh yeah.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I mess up here, but let's go.
All night sipping on cheap champagne, talking about
Can put the autotune back now.
'Cause I wanna love like that. To the moon.
Autotune is back on.
All I wanna do is drive you wild. Get about the world for a little while. 'Cause I
For some strange reason, I think I'm losing volume with autotune. It's probably not, but it just feels different.
wanna love you to the moon and back.
Yeah, baby. Wanna love ya.
To the moon and back, baby.
Wow, that acoustic guitar sound good. Where are we in the set? Actually, I still have the set from the gig. Oh no.
Tell me what's on your mind. Don't
Did it
hold
restart?
nothing back.
Nope.
I want you to know
Okay.
you can tell me anything.
We're good.
Everything good or bad.
Tell me what's on your mind.
I'm good with the cow band, man.
How many days it's been since you called your mom to the taste of that wine you're drinking?
Your worries, your fears, your hopes, your dreams, the house on the hill, the future you see.
When you can't
You hear that weird vocal there? There was no auto-tune on. Let's kick it in there.
I wanna be there, running through your head out of nowhere, laying in your bed, what makes you tick, what takes you home, but you laugh into yourself at a red light, those memories you attach all your favorite songs to, but you're dancing around when you close your eyes and you just
I hear the headphone not in time
wanna be
when I'm taking my ear off.
secrets you hide away, the stories that you tell your friends. That
broken record daydream you keep finding yourself lost in. I wanna be there, running through your head out of nowhere, laying in your bed, what makes you tick, what takes you high, but you laugh into yourself at a red light, those memories you attach all your favorite songs, but you're dancing around when you close your eyes and you just can't help but smile. I wanna be what's on your mind.
Oh, missed that cue.
I don't wanna sound too selfish,
looking at your eye, you can't help it.
and when you can't stop thinking about somebody, I hope I met somebody. I wanna be there, running through your head out of nowhere, laying in your bed, what makes you tick, what takes you high.
Chris Greco, say hi to your wife, by the way. If she have to endure you watching this is probably boring as hell for her. Auto-tune is on single inputs. They have... Everybody has their own auto-tune. Individual vocal, yes. This is what I got in the effect rack, by the way.
Man, man. Quelle belle soirée.
Actually, the singer's first language is English. Zach is an Anglophone who speaks French. Jade is a Francophone that speak French. Well, that speak English, but hold on.
Y'en a-tu qui ont crié pour le projet?
If you guys know this one,
Well,
let's do
they
it.
try to be international. This is what the reason why. That was a rough start. Yeah, honestly, it's because they went to Nashville working with producer there, and there's no money to be made in Quebec, so this is why they're heading for the Canadian market and the American market after. It's also so that Chris can understand.
Then I won $100 on a scratch off ticket, bought 2 12-packs and a tank of gas with it. She swore you were a waste of time, boy, she was wrong. I was calling number 5 on the radio station, bought a 4-day, 3-night beach.
Anybody heard of that guy, Luke Holmes? Never heard of that. Not a bad song, but never. Yeah, this is a cover, by the way. But never heard of that before.
My ex-future mother-in-law anymore.
That a move.
Oh Lord, when it rains,
When the rain pours.
so real quick to up and apologize.
Yeah, you see that auto-tune there?
About my newfound look on
It was not that bad, but it brought him down to the wrong pitch.
It's crazy how lately now just seems to come in a way. What I thought was gonna be the death of me was my saving grace.
Even Danish singer singing lately, yeah, it's the money, no offense.
Is the only logical reason that I got the last spot in the Hooters parking lot, and the waitress left her number on my check.
Because of Luminox, you know to Quebec a little bit.
First ring when I get
You know that we're only 8 million people here. How many CDs or how many, you know, how many CD you can sell to country lover? Around 100,000? That's not a lot of money. You better hit a bigger market. English speaking music is a bigger market. Well, actually, it's the international market. So when you want to hit the international market, you just sing in English. You try to fit in.
redneck road for 3 weeks now. It all started.
Yeah, both my guitar players are good. Well, they are professional musicians. Nobody except the bass player, everybody in that band is a professional. They make a living out of music. My bass player is an accountant.
She was wrong.
He's really good for an accountant. What's up, Terry, if you're watching this?
Vacate. Deep sea senorita fishing down in Panama. Now I ain't gotta see my ex-future mother-in-law.
This is a cover, by the way, Chris White. But some other song you could have hear them. Five Roses, the name of the band. Five Roses, they are big in Australia as we speak. But this is a Luke Home cover. But everything else, if you heard that before, it could have been the band. But it's probably the last song that you've heard. Now this song though, yeah, you probably have heard of them because they are signed in a major label now. It's been only a couple months and they're pushing singles. So.
En tout cas, moi j'aimais bien aussi.
Next one, come on guys. Faster. Oh, yeah, this is gonna be awful. Sorry. Oh. Lost the camera.
Singing words we both know.
It's gonna be it.
His favorite song on the radio with no one else around. Cheap kiss on my lips.
This is an original, by the way.
The place we haven't been yet, but I'll sure take you around. Anytime, any place. If it means I'll see your face.
3, 2,
If it's
1.
country what you seek, then I'm where you ought to be. Chasing lights, head in mind.
Yeah, and the guitar is not in tune.
It's country what you hold, and I'm where you ought to go.
To the night, moonlit skies and memories.
Oh,
Where you ought to be.
you see that auto-tune grab onto the wrong note again, and it just threw it out.
Cold beers and long drives, yeah. Baby blues and fireflies, yeah. Oh yeah, we come to life in this night that we call home. Show me your wild soul, all the things I should have known. When our trip it comes and goes, I'll write you a song every time.
Daddy,
country heart you seek, then I'm where you wanna be. Chasing lights, head in mind, and then there's
Yeah, the A major, Chris.
if it's a country heart you hold, then I'm where you wanna go.
Tonight, blue skies and rings. I'm
Where you wanna be.
But I think they want the tuning too. Well, the discussion I had with them is they don't hear it in their in-ears, and I missed that guitar solo. They don't have it in their in-ear, but they at the front they want it as a safety net. Yeah, the vocal is not clean.
My side, lasso the moonlight. Come with me into the dawn. And
Maybe
if
I
it's
can
country art you seek,
EQ Zach just a bit.
chasing lives, head in mind, and endless memories. And if it's a country heart you hold, I'm where you wanna go.
But I can definitely try the imager. The imager, it's a, I think it's called the Velvet something. Velvet and major.
I'm where you wanna be.
I'm where you wanna be.
Oops. Oh, and the guitar is so out of tune. I tuned it myself before leaving for front of house, but it just didn't survive the show. Weather change was too heavy.
It
was too much.
De fait, déjà,
C'est un peu tôt, mais on s'en fout.
il est jamais trop tôt pour un shot, Zaki.
Jamais trop tôt.
The mandolin, yeah, the mandolin sounds really good because it's the one somebody tracked down in Nashville, and it was probably a really good mandolin player. It was coming from the backtrack. Eventually on the show, my regular multi-instrument player will be there and he will play the mandolin live. Almost there. Come on. He tried a tune again, and everybody's having a shot because the next song is called Double Shot.
Cheers to the ball!
And this is the part where at front of house I'm drinking my shot.
Woo!
All right, let's do this.
This is Jade Time to Shine.
Bumped into you at the bar last night. We drank till the well ran dry. Asked if I could leave, and you're right, with the fire in your eyes. With the black bandana and the style and the swagger of a good old country boy. Coming on real strong and playing along, trying to get me to the floor. Hold up, hold on, let's have a couple more. Drinking a 1, 2, 3, had your boy down on your
Nope, no ukulele. I done enough of these this summer. Thank you. No, it's all done on one show file.
Walked in, you were trying to sing, but it fell a little flat. The rolled her eyes, said, "Are you with him?" I said, "I might take him back." Black bandana, the style and the swagger of a good old country boy. No real strong, and I played along, trying to get
Doing
me
separate
out
song,
the door.
separate file for song to me is not keeping your show as a whole. Especially if I'm doing in-ear monitors, I'm not doing that because the player don't try to mix themselves. You end up mixing every song for them in their ear, and they don't play together anymore as much, I feel. I did try both, and it's most of the time it's more a problem than it fixing stuff.
To you at the bar last night, drank till the well ran dry. Drinking 1, 2, 3, had your boy down on your knees. Couldn't keep up with me, so I took your keys and dignity. Things switch out of mine.
What do you mean, cheaters, Chris?
Just look good, I would take my time. I said you had enough whiskey. How about a double shot of
Shut up.
You had enough whiskey. How about a double shot of kiss me? A double shot of kiss me. Yeah.
The delay doesn't react the way I want it to be. I need to change that. I'm not happy with the delay.
Ça fait du bien ce shot là?
Probably gonna go back to use the stereo one. As much as I like the separation on the on this
the night
one,
is young, everybody. The night is young.
it's not.
And this next song brings me back.
It's
to
not
my youth.
filling as much as I
That's
want it to be.
If you guys know this one, let's sing along, all right?
That's a cover. This one's for the ladies.
Way to go!
Spice Girl time.
I've been wandering around the house all night, wondering what the hell to do. Yeah, I'm trying to concentrate, but all I can think of is you. 'Cause the phone don't ring, 'cause my friends ain't home. I'm tired of being all alone. Got the TV on, 'cause the radio's playing songs that remind me of you. Baby, when you're gone, I realize I'm in love. Days go on, and the nights just seem so long. Even food don't taste that good. Drinking, doing what it should. Days just feel so wrong. Baby, when you're gone.
Something wrong with the crowd mic. There's a weird reflection on the right now. There's no backing track on this one, by the way. You will introduce the band. What's up, Edmond? Yeah, it sounds new country.
Et Monsieur Antoine Loisel à la guitare, tout le monde.
Et sans oublier Monsieur Guillaume Lortie au son.
There we go. Let's go back into it.
I realize I'm in love. Days go on, and the nights just seem so long. Even food don't taste that good. Drinking, doing what it should. Days just feel so wrong. Baby, when you're gone.
When you're gone.
Baby, when you're gone. Baby, when you're gone.
That's it. think it's one more to go. Yeah, one more to go. If you haven't heard of these guys on the radio, that
Merci tout le monde.
probably would be it.
Merci au festival.
Hey!
Quoi, Zaki?
On prend une photo avec la crowd?
Ben, crime,
On
oui.
a-tu du temps pour prendre une photo
Oh,
avec
yeah,
nous autres?
T'es-tu amené ton
They will
téléphone?
take a picture. That will be a long
Mon
time.
téléphone.
Ben, crime, tu penses à tout, sérieux.
What are your go-to compressor for
Essayez de mettre tout
vocal and
dedans,
drums?
c'est pas grave,
Well,
on peut
let's
pas
take a look at it.
On va essayer de la prendre très très large, la
Oli?
photo.
Ah!
Damn, ah, ça c'est du service.
Oli
No stressor,
is the man of the
de-stressor for
situation.
vocal. I'm running
Tout le monde regarde le beau
these
campo.
into the vocal writer, and also because I have the option here, I'm recompressed
Alright,
at
guys.
just 3 dB with the ethereal, so the vocal are compressed going into the writer, so they sit at the same level, and I'm using the vocal group to bring them down when they sing
Un
together.
peu de lumière blanche, s'il vous plaît, si possible.
For drums,
OK, c'est l'inverse.
160.
de la lumière blanche.
On va regarder celle-là, ça, on va
sorry, they're saying weird stuff in my ear.
Correct.
2250 on snare,
1, 2, 3,
560 on snare bottom, and the drummer for the toms.
That's it. On va tenter de taguer tout le monde.
Everything is gate on the drums.
Je te donne la mission, Zach.
And that's not going into a bus, by the way. The drums are going straight to main
On a
out.
tellement eu du fun avec vous un soir. On arrive déjà à notre dernière chanson. Colin, ça passe vite, hein? Mon Dieu.
I'm usually mixing with
On va les
DCAs,
donner
but for
High
some
Five,
reason,
Whitney Kiddo, tout le monde avait voir des voix.
for some reason, on this show I don't use the DCA. So if you heard of these guys on the radio, that's the song. It's the last one. Let's focus on that.
Somebody's gonna come along, tell you just how pretty you are. Somebody's gonna play a song that makes you want
Take the crowd out a little bit.
Somebody's gonna wanna know.
That's a real banjo, by the way.
Somebody's gonna make you wanna go and change up all your plans. Somebody's gonna be calling you baby.
Too much
Might as well
effect.
be me.
Oh my.
Somebody's gonna come and sweep you off of your feet. Somebody's gonna be the reason you can't sleep, 'cause you can't stop thinking about that goodnight kiss outside your house. Wishing you were back in the front seat.
Thank you very much for being here, Chris. Have a good one, man.
Might as well be me. So girl, what you think about getting out of this place for a while? If you want, we can drive around this empty two-lane streets. If you feel like taking a chance, and I'm already ready to leave. If you wanna hold somebody's hand, well, it might as well be me. Somebody's gonna come and sweep you off of your feet. Somebody's gonna be the reason you can't sleep, 'cause you can't stop thinking about that great night kiss outside your house. Wishing you were back in the front seat. Well, might as well be me.
Might as well be me. Yeah. Ooh. Somebody
Give me a minute, Boyle. I'll get back to it. We will look at the whole show if you want.
Might as well be me. Somebody's gonna come and sweep you off of your feet. Well, it might as well be me. Somebody's gonna come and sweep you off of your feet.
Thank you.
Somebody's gonna be the reason you can't sleep, 'cause you can't stop thinking about that goodnight kiss outside your house. Wishing you were back in the front seat. Well, it might as well be me.
Somebody's gonna come along, tell you just how pretty you are.
Somebody's gonna make you fall, and it might
guys.
Merci tout le monde!
That was the last song. Just gonna let that fade out for the recording. House music's going.
Merci beaucoup, guys.
I did turn everything off.
Thanks, guys. Ça fait du bien être de retour, man.
Merci!
There you go, and they are off stage, so I'm just gonna stop this recording, stop that playback. There you go. I'm gonna send that to the band. I needed to remix it anyways. This is why I'm doing that live stream. So, Mr. J Boyle, what do you have on your reverb channel? I'm gonna show you that, but you had a question before. Where are your stage monitor tap point at for vocal? I'm not doing vocal on this setup. We were using an X32 rack for the in-ears, so I was totally independent. Other than sharing gain, I was doing my own thing. But usually, for my vocal, my tap point are number 4. I want sometimes, well, it depends, 3 or 4. In this case, I would normally go after compression. If compressor introduce some problem, make my singer not loud enough, I would go to 3. Just post EQ. That way you can let them be really dynamic in the monitor and not impact what you have in the room, because you can crank the input gain, compress a lot, and bring it back up in the room. This is what I do. Some other people like to have compression in the monitor. I try to leave it on, but if I really need the compressor to work for me a lot, like on a lead vocal, I would put it to 3 and just do my thing with the compressor. It would kind of be like doing a split without doing a split. Reverb. Just a single bus. Just that plate on a single bus. All the vocals going in there. You heard some more reverb because of the crowd mic. Usually they are not in my mix, but here I had to mix with them for the feel of that recording. And I have delay. I have this delay. All my vocals going into the reverb. My lead vocals going into the delay, and the output of the delay also go back to my reverb for vocal. That way, when you have a repeat, something that repeat, it goes in the reverb the same as the real vocal did. Also, do you not like the red compressor? Which one? Which one is the red compressor? The red compressor. I don't know. I'm not familiar with it, so this is why I not used it. I had real life experience with the 1176, the LA2A, the 160 a lot, the API 2. So this is why I tried to hang more toward those because I know them. The drummer is a new thing for me, and also something that I didn't use, but the Neve compressor. I work with the real one in the studio. And sounded good. I used that on vocal. Sounded awesome. What else? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is a shout out. DC Sound Operator just subscribed to the channel. If you don't know him, he's doing a lot of stuff on the wing. If you are interested in the wing, go take a look at his stuff, by the way, once we're done here. Sorry about the screen. My other camera just died. For some reason that I don't know, it should be plugged in and it just died. Let me see if I can have it back. Yeah. And am I on focus? Yes, I am. Good. Let's see how long this one's gonna hold. What else? How different do you process vocal for live versus studio application? Or you do them the same? No, absolutely don't. Well, actually, I don't work studio for some stuff that I was saying before. Maybe you were not there, so I'm gonna do a quick recap. I spent all my life trying to get really good sound out of bad speaker in live venue, and I learned over the year to mix good. Sorry, feel like I'm gonna talk better like that. I've mixed many year with bad speaker, and I figure out actually how to make a bad PA box sound good, and how to make it feel bigger than it really is. When you apply those technique, that minding to studio, it doesn't work. And actually, nobody in my entire life ever hired me to do studio work. So I'm not a studio guy. I've done some studio stuff, some recording stuff, but I'm not really good at it, honestly. So I would say for studio, you have a lot of option on YouTube to have a reference. If you want to talk about live vocal, we can take a look at what we got going on here. This is heavily processed, by the way. This is the most processed vocal I ever done live. And actually, because I was doing recording today, I boost the high frequencies, but usually it's not. So I'm going to show you Jade vocal. We have a Shure, hold on. This one. We have a handheld microphone. This is a wireless. This is a Shure Beta 80, not the 87, the 58. It's a Beta 58. It's one of the capsule is the one that I own. It's my personal capsule that I loaned to Jade, and the wireless system used was the it's the higher one. I want to say the Accent, but it's not. It's the one under that. Anyway, it's a really good quality microphone. So it sounds like a wired 58. Basically, the transmitter doesn't have any color. First thing in the chain is the EQ. I'm I'm taking out 200, 400 also, 3K, 5K. This could have been done with 2 EQ instead of 4. Those, small bump in the low end and the high end. This is what I usually do. Then I send those out into a compressor. Monitoring is key thing here. We were talking about that a few seconds ago with where the tap point is. If my tap point is before the compressor, I'm gonna have the singer sing good volume. I'm gonna compress the hell out of it and make it loud with the output. If I don't have that option on other console, I will find a workaround. I will have them loud in the microphone, bring it up, and find the it's always a matter of compromising live. How compressed you can have a vocal without having it feedback in the monitor or in the room. After that, the vocal writer is not something that I usually use on vocals, especially in smaller venue, because it's most of the time play against me. By request of the artist, this time we're using autotune, and that's about it. Honestly, I try to always get. The goal to me is always get the channel strip to sound good. So if there's a problem with my vocal, I will change the mic. I will change the microphone type. I did some research with Jade, especially. We tried out 3 capsule, the Shure SM58, the Beta 58, the Beta 87A, and Beta 57C. It's a different pickup pattern, and we both agreed that the Beta 58 was the better sounding or closer, or as close as I wanted as a result for her. So we went with that capsule. And I'm not talking about expensive mic here. I'm talking about $100 to $200 microphone. You don't need to spend more than that. A Beta, if you want to try some stuff, try the Beta 57, Beta 58, Shure SM58. You have 3 different color of microphone. Beta 58 and 58 will be close. Condenser microphone will be close. My favorite microphone in the world is the, for vocal live, is the Behringer Dynamic V56. If it's an option for you, give that a try. Seriously. But yeah, that's about it. It's just a compressor and an EQ. I tried to make it sound good like that. And I tried to make it sound good at the mic, then correcting what I need to correct, then compressing that to have an even volume, and I just deal with it. What else? So which one should be on the go-to compressor? Compressor for vocal? Yeah, no stressor. No stressor is my go-to now. 160 and actually before the no stressor, I was using the 1176. 1176. Sorry, I want to use an unused input. 1176 is this one. The attack and release times are good for vocal. I usually start everything at 5. So medium attack, medium release, and adjust it until it sounds good for my vocal. How do you send to reverb how do you send the reverb to P16 on the drum mix? You would need to use a channel for that. You if you're talking about from a wing, you would need to take an output and send the reverb to that output so they can blend it in, or yeah, that's the way to go. You could insert some stuff, but inserting reverb is never a really good option, honestly. Do you typically set the autotune key for each song or separate, or just leave it chromatic? On the wing and just leave it chromatic. In studio, I just don't use autotune. I ask them to sound to make it right the first time. Live is a one take. You don't have any second chance. So I just leave everything chromatic, and it results in sometimes bad note. When the singer is too off, it pick up the wrong note, and it just putting you a half step down where you were not that flat, and just picking up on the wrong one and throw you off. So autotune live is a good and a bad thing. Sometimes it's picking up lower frequencies and is gonna register the pitch to that, and it will throw you off. That's the double-edged sword that is using autotune. After that, last mine, do you really notice the gate pumping? After that last mic, you really notice the gate pumping on your stream mic. Take it as a compliment. Is there a gate on my mic? Oh, maybe there is. Maybe I have an expander going. I cannot hear it, so sorry, I'm gonna take that off then. Now it should be better. It was set to 20-1 instead of 2-1. Yeah, I'm pretty sure now it's better. So would you then still send the drums separately to the P16? Yes. If you have the option, if you have enough of 16 line to send your band some monitoring stuff, use that. Seriously, the more control, this is something I need to do a video about. The more option you give to your band for monitoring themselves, the better they're gonna hear themselves in context of the mix, the better they're gonna blend themselves together as a band, and the easier it will be for you at front of house. This is something that not a lot of people understand. I need to do a video about that if Dave Rat didn't already do something about that. Which channel do you prefer to subgroup, vocal or drum? I don't subgroup, honestly. Other than here, actually, I rarely subgroup, and I subgroup vocal for front of house. I used to do a show with 5 lead singer. Everybody was a lead singer. It was a collective of pop star here, and the 5 guys were singing together and sometimes lead. what I did is I made the channel sound good for everybody, compressed everybody, and sent them all into a group. On that group, I had 1176. And my camera just died. I had a 1176. On that 1176, I had it set so one guy was not making it move at all. When the 5 guys were jumping in on a note, it was compressing. And that group was also stereo, so I could pan everybody just a little bit. If we're talking about the P16 for sending out a group, try to avoid it. And if I have to group something, I would say group the drums. Get your drum mix right and send the singer individually. Seriously. Do you guys have any more question about the setup here? Because honestly, I probably want to take a seat. I've been up for a long time. Ugh. And I can... Oh, I'm just going to leave it like that. You guys can see me fine. Do you guys have any more... Sorry. Do you guys have any more question about the setup, or you pretty much got everything that we did today? But if you group the drums, you can't send the reverb also, can you? Yes. Yes, because it's 2 separate things. Okay? I'm going to go back to my console view here. What I do for my reverb, actually I got a drum reverb here. I send my drums at 2 places. I send my drum into the main out, and I send my drum into a bus. And on that bus, I'm sending out reverb at a different level. And I insert... You can only do that on the Wing. On other console, you will have effect return. But on the Wing, I insert in the last FX slot a reverb, and I send my bus to the main, so I can mix the amount. Actually, I don't. I try never to mix the bus. I try to mix the amount of send that I send into the reverb. But I set my drum the way I want them in the room, and I bring in reverb with the send on fader, like I got here. You know, this is the amount of send that I have in my drum bus, my drum reverb bus. So my output going out to the main, I send that much into that bus. That bus is sitting at 0 dB and it's outputting into the main out. This is how I do all my effects send, not only for drum. This is how I do everything. But unless you send it to the channels, right? I'm not sure to understand here, Mr. J. Bull. Sorry. If you try to rephrase it, I will try to get what you want to achieve here. Thank you so much for answering your question, you rock. I've learned so much about this console from watching your videos. Thank you very much, Keith. I appreciate that. Appreciate that you take time of your day to listen to that stuff. I'm glad you guys want to listen to this because my girlfriend's not interested at all. Love you, darling, if you ever watch. Any other question about the setup? Feel free to ask whatever you want. Maybe I will try to put the show file publicly. I don't know how I can share it so that my Dropbox doesn't get cut. Because if 100 of you guys try to download it, it will just be a no-go. But I will try to find a way to drop that show file into the video description. If it's not, send me a message on Facebook, and I will try to send me actually not a message. Send me an email. You have my email in the description, and I will try to reply with just that show file. It's really small. It should go in email. This is why I have background music, so we don't hear my fan running and stuff like that. Any other question, guys? If not, I'm gonna call it a day. I've been going at this for 2 hours already. So let me know. Or if I didn't answer your question today, send me an email. You can always have access to me over email. And also, if you want to have private one-on-one lesson, sorry, it's the sponsor of video here. It's me sponsoring my own video. If you guys want to have one-on-one FaceTime session or Zoom call, I offer those. I'm asking $25 USD an hour. It's nothing against you. It's not that I want to get millionaire. It's just that if I don't put a money bottom line, my phone would ring 24/7 for people asking me question, and that would take time out of my day that I cannot work. So if you guys want to book a session with me, I'm available. I can pretty much, so far there's no question that it didn't find an answer. Thank you for answering your question as well. Well, you're welcome, man. And then you send both of those bus to the P16. If you want to have the effect of being available in the P16, yes. What I suggest you is to group your effect so that you can send them to the P16. I think you can do that. I think you can send multiple line out to a P16 other than being a bus. A group, right? Not too bad of a price for specialist knowledge. Thank you very much, Illuminax. Well, I guess so. Maybe I could let me know if I can charge more, or if you want to send me more money, I will have my PayPal in the description. Or email me, and I will send me an email. I will give you my PayPal if it's not enough money for you guys. Well, on this note, I think that will be it. I feel like the after show downtime, and I got nothing to wrap. Usually after the show, this is where I hurry up on stage, take my microphone out, put everything in the truck, and I'm gonna jump right next to the beer part after this. So guys, thank you very much for watching this. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you make it this far, pretty sure you're gonna find some interesting thing here going. Until the next one, I want you to please take care of yourself, and I see you guys. I try to do this one on cue. Take care of yourself, and see you guys later.